everybody, Jason here of GhostbustersNews.com and of course Ghostbusters News right here on YouTube. And yes, today we are taking a look at the upcoming Spectral Ghostbusters Real Ghostbusters box set from Diamond Select Toys. And before I crack this guy open, a quick heads up, yes, this guy is going to be exclusive to this year's San Diego Comic-Con. You can pick it up at booth 2607. But if you are unable to make it out to San Diego, this one will also be showing up at GameStop locations following San Diego Comic-Con. Alright, so on to the review here. First things first, this box is freaking massive. Of course, on the front there, we've got this great classic shot of the main four real Ghostbusters: Winston Zeddemore, Peter Venkman, Ray Stantz, and Egon Spengler. The box is also designed in that classic purple, reminiscing of the old school Kenner action figures. And as I just mentioned, these are exclusive there. Of course, the branding is on the box. San Diego Comic-Con International 2019 exclusive. And once again, these guys will be hitting GameStop following San Diego Comic-Con. Now back to the box itself, the front does feature window-style packaging. So if you're not going to open this set, you can still display them pretty dominantly in your collection. Of course, on the left-hand side here, we've got another great classic shot from the real Ghostbusters with the main four guys and Slimer with the Ecto-1. And shifting your attention to the right here, here they are, the Ghostbusters, more importantly, the Spectral Ghostbusters. These four, of course, served as the bad guys in what is regarded as one of the single greatest real Ghostbuster episodes ever, Citizen Ghost. And on top of that, not only do you get the Spectral Ghostbusters, you also have an exclusive angry, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and a Spectral Terror Dog. Taking the figures out of the box here, there's also some items inside that I didn't even know were included. First and foremost, you can see right here, we have got Spectral Ghostbusters Proton Streams. These look great, and of course you do get 4 proton streams in total. We also have 4 marshmallow covered ghost traps. So of course each Ghostbuster can have one. And once again, this does come with a Terror Dog, more importantly a Spectral Terror Dog, so it also does include an extra set of horns. So you can choose if you want Vinz Clortho or Zool. So let's kick off this unboxing, this review, by taking a look at the main 4 Spectral Ghostbusters, because as always, I'm impatient and I want to take a look at these guys. Let's kick it off with Dr. Egon Spengler. And as you can see here, his hands and face are casted in this translucent green, which looks great. It pops so well. I especially love this little bit of white paint that you can see around the mouth area, the eyes, the ears. It's there to simulate this kind of spooky, smoky ghost effect. And it works really, really well. Shifting gears over to the flight suit, of course he's got the standard khaki uniform on. As once again, this is based off the episode Citizen Ghost. If you've never seen that episode, these suits are the exact same flight suits apparently they were wearing right after they did battle with Gozer the Gozerian in the original film. Yeah, this is one of those episodes that connected the real Ghostbusters to the actual film series. I mean, how cool is that? And speaking of that khaki flight suit, as you can see, it is covered in marshmallow, and this marshmallow hides a bit of a secret that we're going to show you here in a few moments, so stay with us. Now turning Egon around to the side here, one thing I do want to point out is that he actually does not have the No Ghost logo on his arm. In fact, none of the Ghostbusters in this set feature the No Ghost logo. Instead we have white paint, which looks like marshmallow, kind of splotched around that area instead. Turning Egon around to the back, of course, we have got the Proton Pack. More importantly, the real Ghostbusters Proton Pack, which looks phenomenal once again in action figure form. And I must point out the Diamond Select Toys did take some liberties here, because as you can see, the Proton Pack does feature that marshmallow paint job as well. And for those that do remember the Citizen Ghost Real Ghostbusters episode, the Proton Packs were actually clean. And keeping with the idea of marshmallow covered equipment, here is once again 1 out of 4 of those ghost traps. Much like the Diamond Select Toys Real Ghostbusters figures, you can attach the ghost trap to the side of the Proton Pack. Now, if you've purchased any of the past Diamond Select Toys Ghostbuster Select figures, you know that typically they come with a variety of hands, like gloved hands, ungloved hands. The Spectral Ghostbusters, they just come with 1 pair of hands for each figure, and that's what they have out of the box. But that's okay, because they do a wonderful job at holding the equipment, like you can see here with Egon handling the Proton Wand. And speaking of the Proton Wand, like I said earlier, this Spectral Ghostbusters box set does come included with 4 Spectral Ghostbusters Proton Streams. They attach the exact same way as the standard real Ghostbusters figures, and it really makes these Spectral Ghostbusters pop. And do you know what else makes action figures pop? Glow-in-the-dark features. Remember how I said there was something special about this marshmallow paint job that he has? Well, when you hit the lights, check this out. Yes, every bit that you see Marshmallow, and also that effect, that kind of like smoke effect that's on the face, all that stuff lights up in the dark. And it is so incredibly bright and vibrant. Now before we move on to the next Ghostbuster, here's a quick comparison between the Spectral Ghostbusters Egon Spengler and the standard real Ghostbusters Egon Spengler. Which one do you guys like better? Let me know down in the comments section. Do you prefer the standard line or do you prefer the Spectral line? So coming up next, we have got Dr. Peter Venkman. Well, actually, is he still a doctor when he's a ghost? Now, one thing I didn't really touch on with Egon, but you probably could already tell, these are the 100% exact same molds as the real Ghostbusters figures. Which actually works pretty well here in most cases, because I think that actual smirk on Venkman's face kind of lends to the overall evilness of this action figure. And of course, if we're talking real Ghostbusters Peter Venkman, I just want to point out again, that hair swoop looks phenomenal. And it's going to get kind of hard to kind of expand some of these reviews because we've already taken a pretty in-depth look at Egon Spengler. And for the most part, all these other figures, aside from the head details, are the same. But one area that all four figures do differ is where the actual marshmallow is on their flight suits. They do differ, it's not uniform across the board, which is certainly noted and appreciated. But one area that is identical to every single figure is the proton pack paint job. As you can see here, here's a quick comparison between Egon and Peter. The templates they use for the marshmallow application on the proton packs, there's no change between them. So yeah, it's a little weird that their suits are so different when it comes to that paint app, but the proton packs are the same. That's okay. And much like we did for Egon, here is another comparison shot between the two different Peter Venkman figures. Of course, Spectre on the left and the standard real Ghostbusters on the right, but did we really have to tell you that? It's pretty obvious. Coming up next, we've got the heart. I guess he's still the heart. I mean, ghosts don't really have hearts. Of the Spectral Ghostbusters, Ray Stantz. And man, I know some people didn't really dig the face of Ray when it came to Diamond Select Toys' Real Ghostbusters line, but does it ever give off a really creepy vibe here when it comes to the Spectral Ghostbusters? I love it. Once again, we've got that really cool kind of like smoke effect coming out of Ray's eyes, coming out of the ear there. Really spooky stuff. Got that unique marshmallow paint app, as I've already established here on the suit, and we're going to establish again with Winston here in a bit. And what's really fun is if you have been collecting the Diamond Select Toys like previous figures in the line, you can definitely mix and match accessories. Like you can give Egon Spengler, the Spectral Egon Spengler, the PK meter, or in this case, you can give Ray Stantz his ecto goggles. And once again, let's do a quick comparison shot between the Spectral and the real Ghostbusters Ray Stantz. I love that there's such a color change between the two different flight suits here, because obviously Ray in the real Ghostbusters wears that kind of a brown on khaki flight suit, and I was afraid that both of these would be a bit too similar, but as you can see, there's a nice contrast. Now coming up last when it comes to the actual main four Spectral Ghostbusters, we have got probably my favorite in the entire line, and that is Winston Zeddemore. And you may be wondering why Winston is my favorite in this line. I love the way the sculpt of this face adapted to the whole Spectral idea. It's so blank, it's so ominous. And as we've seen with the other figures, that smoke effect really brings it to life. It is downright creepy, spooky, whatever you want to call it. Of course, looking at the flight suit right quick here, the unique marshmallow placement has been the trend as we've already established. And before I move on to that Stay Puft and that Spectral Terror Dog, I do want to take a quick moment just to establish that I think Diamond Select Toys has made some of the greatest Ghostbuster figures, not only ever, but more importantly with this set. These four guys look fantastic. I think if you're an in-box collector, it's going to pop great in your collection. If you're an out-of-box collector, it's going to look great in your display cabinet. If you're an action figure photographer, you can take some pretty amazing shots with these guys, as we're going to show here in a few. But really what I'm trying to say is if you have the opportunity to pick these guys up either at San Diego Comic-Con or GameStop, or maybe just like online if you see some third-party sellers, hopefully you don't have to pay too much. Pick the set up, it's wonderful. Okay, back to the review. Coming up next, we have got the angry Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Somehow, Diamond Select Toys has made one of the best Stay Puft Marshmallow Man figures even better with this. And I know that this whole box set is real Ghostbusters themed, but look at that angry face. That is so into film original Ghostbusters movie Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, you know, right as he's starting to kind of climb Gozer's temple there. I just love the face here. Now, if you checked our past reviews of the standard Happy Stay Puft, he's exactly what you'd expect. The articulation, he moves in the legs, the feet, the arms here, he's got some really nice arm swivel, the head rocks back and forth there. In fact, let's bring out that original Happy Stay Puft and do a quick comparison between these two. Once again, down in the comments section, let me know which one do you prefer, Happy Stay Puft or Angry Stay Puft? And when it comes to this set, I really feel like Diamond Select Toys, they could have just called it a day with the main, actually just the main 4 Spectral Ghostbusters. It could have been done. The fact they included that Stay Puft, above and beyond, but on top of that, they've also included a Spectral Terror Dog just because. And I am not one to say no to an action figure, more importantly, an exclusive Ghostbusters action figure. Now, taking a look at the Terror Dog, this is actually the third one that Diamond Select Toys have released so far. Of course, there's the standard gray Terror Dog. There was a Phantom Terror Dog that was released at Toys R Us locations. That was kind of the same idea, but it was gray, with this new Spectre one being more of a blue tone. More importantly, a translucent blue, so you can see right through him. And look at that evil, growling, snarling face. Oh, I love it. Diamond Select Toys did a great job at capturing the Terror Dog's likeness here. And as we mentioned earlier in the video, it does come with 2 different sets of horns. So you can choose if you want a Vinz Clortho or if you want a Zool Terror Dog. Taking out the standard Terror Dog, here is a quick comparison between the two. Of course, we've got the Spectral on the left, and once again, the standard Terror Dog on the right. I do think the regular Terror Dog does show off the detail a bit better, but there's something to be said about that translucent blue. Before we wrap this review up, if you've been buying any of the past Diamond Select Toy figures, more importantly their Ghostbusters Select figures, then chances are you have built a diorama or 2. More importantly, like what we have back here, Gozer's Temple and the Ghostbusters Firehouse headquarters. Both of these displays look amazing, and man, do they make great locations to kind of stage photo shoots, especially with this brand new Spectral Ghostbusters box set. I mean, take a look here of Spectral Egon Spengler just chilling outside of the Ghostbusters Firehouse headquarters. On top of that, it looks like 2 Winstons are about to throw down. Guys, I have openly had so much fun reviewing and unboxing and just posing these action figures for this review. I really do think Diamond Select Toys has made one of the single greatest Ghostbuster box sets ever here. And I cannot recommend this one enough. Especially if you've been buying their past figures, or more importantly, if you just got into it recently with the real Ghostbuster releases. In closing, I would like to thank Diamond Select Toys for sending this beautiful, beautiful box set out. If you'd like to grab one for your very own, be sure to check out booth 2607 at San Diego Comic-Con. Price of this guy, it's going to go for 120 bucks, and after San Diego Comic-Con, like I said, these are going to begin to hit GameStop stores in the US. So be sure to grab yours. You are not going to want to miss this. That is all I've got for you right here, right now on Ghostbusters News. Be sure to subscribe to us, and I'll see you right back here next time.